Hello readers, I am Amy, and as usual, 2020 is falling apart. So we just had the J.K. Rowling thing, and the trans people thing, and what better time to review I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya. This is, I think I technically put it as a novella in my notes because it is a nonfiction, but it's very, very short. And it's like a series of essays written by Vivek Shraya. Vivek Shraya is a trans woman, a beautiful trans woman. I want to say some Indian ancestry, judging by the outfits that she wears, and the little, what is it, a bindi? Is that what it's called? I freaking loved this. And let me just say, I am a cisgender biological female, and I am really relating to this trans woman author because I am not threatened by trans women because trans women are women, just like trans men are men. And I'm a sociology lover, so gender is all a construct anyways, so why is everyone so upset about it? Oh my gosh. Seriously, just let people be who they want to be and deal with it. So, Vivek Shraya. Awesome. Loved this. Really, really loved this. One part that really spoke to me, there's this part where Vivek is talking about writing emails and how she puts all of these exclamation points at the end of like every single sentence to make herself sound upbeat and approachable and like, oh, I have this problem and if you could help me with that problem, that'd be great. And that's what I do in all of my emails. I want to make myself more approachable. I make myself more submissive by putting all these exclamation points at the end of my sentences. And I didn't realize that that was a submissive thing to do. And I'm reading this book and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That's me. I am making myself submissive through my emails. And I'm talking to one of my friends the other day, and she's got her, I think she just finished her master's, and she finished up her therapy hours for her master's. So she can start, like, doing her own therapy without supervision and stuff, and she wants to work on her doctorate. And she had heard from this woman who was, like, getting her doctorate in therapy, and she's contacting her teacher, like, hey, I could really use some help with this, that'd be great. And her teacher gets back to her and is like, don't you ever email me like this again. You are working on your fucking doctorate. You are a doctor. Do not talk to someone like they're above you. You are getting your doctorate. You are just as valid as anyone else getting their doctorate. You are going to email me back, and you are not going to ask me nicely. You are going to tell me what you need done. And I'm listening to that, and it's like, that's what I need to do. I have a bachelor's. I'm working on my second bachelor's. Why am I so submissive to people all the time? This whole book was like that, where I related to almost every single essay in here. And, I mean, the only essays that I didn't relate to had to do with, like, a kind of a gay male focus, which is not at all my experience, but they were still great essays. Like, I loved this. And this whole book is focused on this concept of being afraid of men. Like, I am afraid of not getting what I need from men who, whether they're my coworkers or my bosses or whatever, even if they're my coworkers, I feel like they're above me, and therefore I'm submissive in my emails to try and get what I need, and that's a form of fear. And, you know, back to talking about walking the streets alone at night, and how freaking scary that is. Like, the traditional male experience cannot comprehend what it is like to be alone at night. That's something. I'll talk about Black Lives Matter a little bit. You have these stories of black males who are walking alone at night, or black females, or just black people walking alone at night, and they're scared because they're black. And it's nighttime, it's dark out, so they're going to be perceived as a threat. They're going to be followed. And I always felt like I related to that a little bit. I mean, I'm not Black, and I'm not having my life threatened in the same way. But I feel like, shouldn't women understand a little bit better? Like, hearing about all of these white women who are doing these horrible things to Black people, and I'm like, but don't you get it? Don't you know what it's like to walk alone at night and be afraid for your life? And again, it's not the same thing. Like, I'm not afraid of being stereotyped. I'm not afraid of being murdered by a police officer, but I am afraid that every single male individual that I see after, 6:00 p.m. is going to rape and kill me. That is a legitimate fear. And just seeing all of these stories, hearing all of these stories about how threatened white women feel by Black men, I don't get it, because you should be able to relate to that a little bit on some level, because you're a woman. Are you not afraid to walk alone at night? Do you not understand even a little bit what this person is feeling? And anyways, Vivek Shraya talking about walking alone at night and being afraid for her life, and I get that. It's terrifying to be a woman and to be alone and to feel like your well-being relies on every man that you come into contact with. It's horrible. So, this whole review to say, read this book. Read this book. It is phenomenal. Also, understand that trans women are women. They are not a threat to you. Not all women menstruate. Not all women have the same amount of body hair. Like, just let people be people. Stop getting so pissy about it. People love their labels. Anyways, before I get lost on any more rants, read this book. It was amazing. 15 out of 5 stars. Please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media, unless you're a terrible person, in which case don't. And actually, let me wrap this up with a discussion of feminism. So, feminism, like many politics, has different levels. It's on a spectrum. You have this kind of feminism all the way to this kind of feminism. You have social justice warriors who I consider to be on the very extreme end of feminism, and I don't really agree with them and their approaches to things, but they're still feminists. And then you have trans exclusionary radical feminists who, technically speaking, would fall under the feminist spectrum because they do hold some feminist beliefs. However, as a feminist, I believe that a trans exclusionary radical feminist is not a feminist, because my version of feminism, the version of feminism that I was taught, the version of feminism that I believe in, is equality for everybody. Universal equality. Whether you are male, female, trans, non-binary, whatever, you are a person and therefore deserve equality. That is feminism. Feminism is not biological females should rule all. That's not feminism. Feminism is about being on equal footing. Before I go on any more rants, I will end this. Like, subscribe, be my friend on social media, unless you're a terrible person. Then don't do that, because I don't want to be your friend on social media. That is not it from me, but that's where I'm cutting it off. So I will see all of you later. Goodbye, friends and enemies.